Hey there guys, welcome to the Musings of Maverick channel. I'm your host Maverick, and today we are starting a new series, Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 2, otherwise known as Kanojo, Okarishimasu, or as it's commonly known and referred to, Kanokari. So this is the second season. I have watched the first season on this channel as well and reacted to it and whatnot, so feel free to check that out. I guess there are going to be some guys who are new here. If you are new, just to give a quick explanation of my channel, I'll typically divide my videos into 3 different parts. I'll have the opening introduction, which I'm doing right now. I'll have the blind reaction in the middle, and this is blind. I haven't read the manga because I like to keep the reactions fresh. And then finally, I'll follow it up with what I call my Musings section, hence the namesake of this channel, where I like to talk a little bit more about this channel in particular. Sorry, not the channel, the episode in particular, the work, maybe give some theories and thoughts, etc., etc., right? I kind of like to add on a little bit beyond just pure, reaction stuff. But in any case, if you feel you're interested in any of those parts, feel free to check out the timestamps. I will, timestamp them accordingly, so you can just jump to whichever part that you please. So, let's do a quick recap of the first season, right? Now, to be honest, this isn't exactly a series whose concept particularly interested me. This kind of concept of compensated dating and then trying to make a romance out of all of this and whatnot, I feel like it's a perfect setup to get NTR'd, right? In fact, I'm pretty sure that's like a very common genre or a common spin-off in terms of the doujins and whatnot for this series. And who can blame it, right? The series certainly tries to, hand wave away it a lot of times, so we don't really see all the other heroines going off and doing their own stuff, but it's there, right? It exists. So well, whatever, right? To be honest, I mostly picked this up because of, the character designs. They look great, and they're all wonderfully voice acted by some very famous voice actresses. So that's what initially brought me into it, and I was kind of sort of hooked, right? The music was great as well, and the characters, even the ones that are supposed to be like kind of antagonistic characters, right? Such as like Mami, even so, they are all very attractive and whatnot. So, I mean, I consider me intrigued. Even though, like, even the main character, like, Kazuya, right? Yeah, Kazuya. He's also, like, not exactly my favorite type of main character archetype, the sort of, like, useless, that kind of character. I mean, sure, he kind of like saved Chiharu in, I believe, at the end of the first season, right? Whereas he dived into the water, into the river to save her and whatnot. And if I recall correctly, they are doing like some, we're kind of having this nisekoi situation as well, because they've kind of introduced each other to their parents or family and whatnot. So now they have to keep up appearances, right? So now we go down a little bit of that nisekoi route. Beyond that, though, to be honest, like, my thing is mostly, and Chiharu is Chiharu, right? But in a lot of these sort of like harem rom-coms, I like to kind of root for the underdogs and also understand like what the underdogs are doing, and especially like Mami, right? Mami, she basically dumped Kazuya for no particular reason at all, and yet now she wants to get back. I'm very, very curious about like her character in particular, and of course, the rest as well. We got Sumi-chan, we got Ruka. Although I do believe that the grand ending of this is most probably going to be the Chiharu route, right? Like, it's a thing with these sort of rom-coms, especially one that's styled as this, that, we pretty much know the ending from the beginning. This is not spoilers or anything. I think this is just, if you watch enough harem rom-coms, you can take this for granted. But still, let's just enjoy the journey, shall we? So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, are they each gonna have, like, their own? After a year? So they've been doing this for a year already? Yeah, yeah, they are doing like each person. I like Ruka actually. All right, this is the yeah, and her situation is she wants to feel stuff, right? Unfortunately, I don't think Kazuya really really likes Ruka all that much. So personally, I'm rooting for Ruka-chan. You can barely hear her talk. All right, and her setting is she wants to go and be an artist. Right, and I believe at the very end of season one, she kind of started having feelings for him, right? For Kazuya. And now we have this. Yeah, and back in season one, like I love their little dance that they did. And like I said, the music they choose for the openings and ending of these are great. Like even this one is great. So what's it? Oh, Shiko of Honeyworks. All right. Himitsukoi Kokoro. Yeah, Honeyworks have a lot of bops. That's kind of like a callback to season one. I think they also ended the opening on sort of like. Okay, hang on. Well, that's why you should kind of like try to get her as a real girlfriend. But of course, it's never that simple, right? Oh, so he's gonna take a look. All right, right. It's like, well, the arts, anyways. Not being an artist. The arts. I kind of forgot about that part. Hey, come on, it's been a while, guys. Hmm. Huh. Fancy seeing you here. Oh yeah, she would probably be here to support and Shidaru as well, right? Being like she's like her direct junior. This girl, what? I feel like I understand. I feel like I've heard her voice before. She's also quite famous. I'm not sure which one it is. Oh. That's Kunoichi. This dude. This dude. Well, I mean, considering that she can also act as a rental girlfriend, it kind of makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Oh, now we have an action scene, I guess. Honestly, this is reminding me of I've been to a few like plays before. Mostly like the sort of like ending performances of some of like performance arts universities and whatnot. Yeah, I guess I've been to a few professional ones as well. So honestly, Kazuya, can you please? Really? Are you sure it's not just your own imagination? And then again, if she is as pretty as they keep on describing her to be, then I think it's kind of obvious. Who is this girl? I recognize this voice, but I just can't like. Who? Okay. Okay, something's obviously gonna happen at the end here, right? Oh, okay. It's gonna be Sumi-chan. Hmm? Oh. Yeah, being a rental girlfriend definitely helps her acting. Hmm. Sure, whatever. So she's probably gonna still keep this up a little bit longer, eh? That's how we continue the show. Oh. Oh, damn, we're going back to the season 1 endings. Ah. You know, at this point, it's basically like just. Oh, this is. I mean, if they were to have like an actual like boyfriend girlfriend relationship, though, I guess that could also kind of work out. I think I got a glimpse of the cast at the end there. That should be Ogura Yui, right? Another really famous voice actress. I didn't quite. I knew her sounded like familiar, but wasn't quite sure which one it was. Yeah, yeah. All the work she put in. It's Kazuya, right? Aquarium lad. It is a sort of twisted relationship, though, but Okay, so I guess the next episode is still going to be these two. And then there's just going to be like some slight awkwardness as their fake feelings and real feelings kind of intertwine with each other. But anyways, we'll talk more about that after this. So see you guys in a bit. Well, first episode back, and of course we are focused on the two main characters, Chizuru and Kazuya, right? I mean, that's kind of like what I'm saying here in regards to this series, even though it's sort of stylized as a harem rom-com. In actuality, the end girl or the ending has already been portrayed from the very beginning, right? It's kind of like a done deal, just like how it was a done deal that Shiori-chan got the role in the end, right? But at the very least, for this first episode, they did allow the other characters to come in, do sort of like a recap in order to allow them to show up a little bit, and speak to the audience and whatnot. That's also kind of how the voice actresses can get paid as well, because it doesn't matter, like, little known sort of trivia for you guys, but voice actors are paid as long as they appear in the episode. It doesn't matter if they only speak one word, one line, or like they have like 50% of the time, or like even nearly 100% of the time, like Kazuya here. They are paid the same regardless, just by speaking one word. So because of that, all of the main girls get paid. So that's kind of like expected at this point, right? Because they are all like quite famous voice actresses after all. So yeah, but I mean, obviously beyond that, I'm sure for the audience as well, we would love to see all the other girls have a little bit of screen time as well. As for this particular, this episode, I mean, it's kind of like bringing us back to this, get reintroduced to your characters, right? And boy, I've almost forgotten, like, how annoying I find Kazuya to be. I already said at the very beginning, right? He is not exactly the type of character archetype that I particularly enjoy, even within these sort of like harem rom-com stuff. But Kazuya specifically, makes me want to punch him. All right, I think I've said this back in season 1 as well. If it weren't for the girls, I would definitely not watch this, because I like this main character. It really annoys me so much. But I guess he's earnest, right? He's kind. He goes all out and whatnot. And I kind of get it, right? That's sweet in a way towards Shiraru, and that's probably how he's going to worm his way into her heart and get the girl in the very end, if he hasn't already, right? I think at the end, near the end of the season 1, we kind of already see that Shiraru has some sort of feelings for Kazuya, which are only bound to grow as time continues on, right? Although, the next episode seems that they are going to be going out on their first sort of like date, if you will, since this happened, or in the second season. So there's probably going to be some awkward moments there as well, which, I mean, we'll just have to see, right? But honestly though, because it's such a done deal, to me, looking at this, I guess this is a pet peeve of mine in terms of harem rom-coms, but I really dislike it when there is already a clear-cut winner. I mean, if you're going to do that, then just make it into a normal romance, right? Why make it into a sort of harem romance if the end result is the same anyways? Like, you're not really giving the other girls a fair chance, a fair fight here. It's kind of similar to, like I said, drawing parallels to Chiru's situation with Shiori's situation here. It doesn't matter like how much you sort of put work into it or whatnot, or how much you appeal for yourself. It's already been decided from the very beginning, right? So that's why I'm really torn about this. I do support the other girls a lot more, even though I have to admit that Chizuru is probably the best waifu or the best girlfriend material out of all of them. But still, regardless, it just feels quite unfair to me, similar to this situation here. And as for the actual this actual episode, what was being portrayed and whatnot, I'm also having mixed feelings about this as well. Obviously, they wanted to make it very clear cut that Chizuru was robbed of her sort of like victory of getting the role. Obviously, it works twofold. One, to add-on sympathy from the audience and from Kazuya for Chizuru, right? And then also to have a good excuse for the rental girlfriend thing to continue on, because then otherwise Kazuya would not be able to have any connection to her anymore. Even though, like, hear me out, guys. At the end of the day, he's still her neighbor, right? And if she does completely quit the sort of rental girlfriend thing, like, at the very least, I feel like through Kazuya's persistence and whatnot, they could still kind of sort of like maybe do something. I don't know, but I'm just saying here. But then again, that completely changes the premise of this series, right? So, you know, for the story to go on, for the show to go on, we must keep this particular setting here. Now, I do kind of feel, though, I would have been... Like, they're really making out Chizuru to be, like, the perfect, right? Like, she's infallible and whatnot. I'm really... To be honest, I'm kind of turned off by that, because Kazuya is already putting Chizuru on a very high pedestal, right? And we're basically listening to Kazuya's thoughts, like, 90% of the time. So it kind of gets repetitive and annoying that they keep on making Chizuru to be this, like, very, like superwoman kind of girl. I mean, I would have preferred, honestly, if instead of, you know, going through this and it seems like there's, like, some backdoor method that caused Shiori to win, you know, instead, you know, make it so that, yeah, Shiori is amazing, but then Shiori actually is doing some quite amazing stuff in her own right as well, right? And so, at the end of the day, it's kind of like a tie, and, you know, ultimately Chizuru failed at the very end. I would have liked that kind of setting a lot more, just because, right? Just because through these 13 episodes up to this point, season 1 and this episode of season 2, we've been listening nonstop to how good of a girl Chizuru is, and, you know, at a point in time, I'm kind of like sick of it. All right, I just want them to you know, especially for Kazuya as well. He needs to, like, you know, he needs to, like, chill, all right, and really get his thoughts and whatnot straight, and but then again, that really wouldn't be Kazuya, right? And I guess that's just how his character is, and hey, if it works, it works. Who am I to judge? Like, he's going to end up with Chizuru in the end, right? So I guess that is that. But I would have preferred it a little bit more if they did not completely go through this, oh, she was robbed and she should have won, and that kind of thing. We don't really need to feel any more sympathetic towards her, right? Even though they are clearly trying to push that angle here with how hard she worked, and I guess the other side, they're inferring that she's only using connections to get the role, right? I don't know. I don't quite like these kind of clear-cut, there's a good guy, bad guy kind of stuff. I would have preferred more if instead, you know, they're saying that Shiori is also, she's also quite talented in her own right. She also worked very hard, and, you know, the fact that she knew the director was kind of like the icing on the cake, right? But that was not the main determining factor here. I would have preferred that kind of storyline a lot more, for Chizuru to realize that, hey, she still needs, you know, even though she tried her best, she still fell kind of short, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have talent, right? She should still strive to try and perform this. I mean, literally, she has not been at this as long as Shiori, right? So, you know, just looking at this, I feel like instead of, you know, just making her to be so talented and so charming and so captivating and whatnot. Instead, you know, take it slowly. You know, you have more time, and we can still have the exact same storyline, right? Kazuya can still do his kind of like freak out and you know, holler at the top of his lungs that he's going to support her. We can still do that because clearly her talent is there to see, and Kazuya, for, you know, whether for just you know, for personal reasons, or, you know, or like either having a chance of getting more of having more time with Chizuru, or because he genuinely believes that she has this talent and he can't help but feel sympathetic towards her. We can still do this exact same storyline, right? It's just that without this being so kind of like you know, this kind of situation that we see here. Do you guys see what I mean? It's just like I'm kind of like uncomfortable with all the praise that's being heaped on Chizuru. I think that's my main point here. Like, enough is enough. We gotta like stop at some point, because we're already listening to this like 24/7 from Kazuya in this series. So just chill out a little bit, right? And yeah, so that was it for this first episode. And oh, by the way, I love that they brought back season 1's opening from, season 1's ending song, right, as sort of like the pseudo ending here. I don't think it's going to be the actual ending of this season. I highly doubt it. And also within the credits, they also said that it's only sort of like an insert song, so it's not really going to be the ending song of this. So yeah, the song by the Peggies. I believe it's Centimeter, right? Centimeter by the Peggies. Great song, and definitely kind of brings out the nostalgia, right? That was the opening for season 1, right? I believe, or is that the first ending? Anyways, I'm glad that they brought it back. Definitely nostalgic, and kind of like, once again, the music selection for this is absolutely great. The pacing, though, I'm not quite sure, like, if it's just if I were to like have another sort of like nitpick for this episode, I don't know if it actually ties back into what I'm saying about Kazuya just being an annoying character and I can't really stand him. But some of the pacing in terms of the dialogue and whatnot did feel kind of off to me, or maybe I'm just so annoyed by Kazuya. I don't know. But well, that is it for this first episode of the second season, and I guess we shall continue on, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.